This is an introduction for parents that want to use ChatGPT or have no idea what ChatGPT is, and they're hearing it on CBS, Fox News, NBC, wherever. You're seeing it on the internet, you're reading articles, and the news will tell you everything that's going wrong in the world. I'm going to give you some pros and cons, and I'm going to give you some ways to use ChatGPT, and I'm going to describe ChatGPT to you, and hopefully you can use ChatGPT to help your own children in K-12 education. ChatGPT is like this super, really smart assistant. It can help you organize yourself, organize your own students or your children at home and education. It is a great way for you to ask questions about education. Maybe your child's in kindergarten, maybe you want to ask it about reading or writing or science, or how to integrate all those things together so that your child can see the world through the scope of an integration of understanding the content in their classroom. So let's take a moment, jump right in, and I'm going to show you ChatGPT. I'm going to give you a quick overview, and then we're going to throw in what we call input and output information. So we're going to input a prompt, and then you're going to see ChatGPT do a lot of writing and typing for us, and it'll give us an output to what we're trying to ask it. This is ChatGPT. When you Google ChatGPT, typically the first thing that comes up is chat.openai.com. Go ahead and click on that. Then go to the point at the bottom left where it says try ChatGPT. This is what you'll get. It will look slightly different because I went ahead and paid for the plus. However, it's free, so use it. Go to new chat. This is where you are going to type in a prompt. Now, I know it's not as beautiful as, say, your social media or Instagram or TikTok or even YouTube yet. But if you were born in the 70s or 80s and you remember 1994, 95 when the internet came out, it wasn't as beautiful as we would have liked it either. And trying to create the programming language through HTML was kind of interesting too. So just bear with the programming, but it does really give you an idea of what you want to do or ask it some questions. Now, these are previous chats that I've asked it to do. What we're going to do is start with what we say a new chat. Just select that, and then at the bottom, you will be able to ask ChatGPT some questions. I say you ask it a question and ask it why you would want to, or what would be reasons why you should use ChatGPT. And I'm going to throw in a prompt. What are 5 reasons why parents with school-age children should know about ChatGPT? Now, it is not perfect artificial intelligence. It does have information. It is pulling in information to give you information to help you. You do want to vet information if you start to get technical, like give me the introduction to a science topic, like understanding DNA or understanding molecular biology, and then you get very granular. This is being very, I'm asking it a simple question right now. And here's what it gave us: homework help, educational resources, language learning, personalized learning, engagement, and fun. Now, I can stay in this chat and it'll continue to respond to this. I can just say, why? And see what happens. And you see it's starting to generate. You just want to scroll if you're not seeing anything. It says, I apologize, but I'm not sure what you are referring to. Well, let's be more specific. Why are the above reasons good reasons? And the reason why I did that is so that you can see that you're talking to something that wants to respond. So the more you interact and the more that you're creative in how you're asking, it's going to respond. The above reasons are good reasons for parents with school-age children. Many parents struggle to help. Struggle to help their children with homework, especially when they encounter difficult concepts. And I talked about that a little bit when I mentioned calculus. So let's go back up here and see what it says. So homework help. ChatGPT can help parents assist their children with homework by answering questions or providing explanations. And down here, it's giving you a why. I asked what. I asked why. Now we can ask it, how are each of the 5 areas good for parents. Give examples. Now, I know I'm saying in the same chat, but I want you to see that don't give up on it. Keep asking questions to clarify. Homework help. Parents can use ChatGPT to help their children with homework help assignments, especially on topics they may not be familiar with. And you notice that it's starting to repeat itself. You can ask it, don't repeat recent language or recent statements. For instance, if a child is studying, let's go back up here a little bit while it's typing. If a child is studying physics and the parent doesn't have a background in the subject, they can use ChatGPT to answer questions or provide explanations of difficult concepts. This is a really good statement. And what's nice is that once you leave ChatGPT, you can highlight what you want and put it in a notes system. I use Evernote, for example. You can highlight the entire thing and throw it in there. You can highlight it and put it in Google Docs or a Google folder. Now let's do a new chat. Let's ask it specifically. Now I'm using Control C to copy, and then I'm using Control C or Command V if you have an iOS or a Mac to put this in here because I've already typed them out. How can I use ChatGPT to help my own children that are students in elementary school in the state of California? Now it is repeating things. Now, and it's giving you examples, but what I want you to do is be very specific. What do students in kindergarten need to know by the time they are finished with this grade in the state of California? Insert whatever state you're in. What are the standards that they need to master? Where would I get this information if you don't know? Now, I'm just being very specific. The California Department of Education has established a seat, and this is what you want to know. Sometimes a lot of parents don't know that there is a Department of Education in every state. And then we have the U.S. Department of Education, the federal perspective. And it'll give you reading and writing. And math, students should be able to count to down. Yes, this actually is very true. Write and represent numbers up to 20, compare numbers. Now, I would argue that most kindergarten teachers do above and beyond this, and it gives you the website of where you could look for the state standards for English language arts and mathematics. I would even ask you to push a little bit and say, what about the science standards in the state of California? Let's try that. And it gives you the California Next Generation Science Standards provide standards for science. And this is very true. Now, I know this because I have a background in education. I am a science educator by trade, former assistant principal and principal, and now I work for a school district as a director. And these are the standards that are the skills that we want students to master in the state of California. And it's really explaining the science standards and giving you an overview, which is very nice because it's breaking it down by science and engineering practices, cross-cutting concepts, and disciplinary core ideas. Now, it's giving you the California Department of Education, but I would even ask, what is the website for next generation science standards? Now, I know what it is, but I want to see if it'll give it to me. There it is. That's what I want you to see. Now, the state of California has added specific standards. However, in any state that uses the state standards, these are the skills that we want students to master. And you can have a lot of fun with this. And these are things that if you really want to help your children, you can start out with this. Now, of course, there's always good, bad, and indifferent things that you might want to know about ChatGPT. So now I'm going to add, what are the pros and cons that every parent should know about when using ChatGPT? And it's telling you as an artificial intelligence or an AI model, because ChatGPT is generative pre-trained transformer, can be used, it can be a useful tool. Here are the pros. They're listening it, access to information, convenient and always available, non-judgmental, can help reduce anxiety and stress. Cons, lack of personalization. The voice that is behind this are the engineers that do the programming language, and it's not giving you an expert human experience. So this is why you need to know that your child should have a voice in what they're learning, so they can get some information and maybe an outline, but their voice is very important. Risk of misinformation, because ChatGPT, if you read this, GPT's responses are only as good as the data it has been trained on. Generative pre-trained transformers. So know that you need to vet if you start to get into detailed questions, vet what you're looking for. No emotional connection. ChatGPT is an artificial language model and does not have emotions or empathy, which may be important for some parents seeking support and guidance. Now, it might say, what are some recommendations if my child is struggling with test anxiety? You could ask it that, and it'll give you some input, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go and see a therapist, for example. And many doctors will tell you, just like if you go to Google, oh my gosh, let's just ask it. My child suffers with test anxiety. What do you recommend? And we just ask. And test anxiety is common. It's going to give you an introduction. Here are some strategies. Prepare well, help your child prepare. The more you prepared they feel, the less anxiety there will be. Teach relaxation techniques, talk positively. And I would even add, again, provide support, encourage them, reward effort. And I would add, always, if it's really, something more than this, you should always go and seek professional guidance, because remember, ChatGPT is only pulling from the data that it can find. And as you know, Google, because I comically think as Google as Dr. Google, and every time I type in something, it's something horrible, and I could have just called the doctor and they're like, oh yeah, you just need some penicillin. So really think about what that looks like, and hopefully you can play around with this. I'm a parent with 4 adult children. I wish I would have had this as a parent. Even though I have a background in science education, I think it could have helped me organize myself. I spent a lot of time, some nights or evenings, helping my children through some very difficult content, especially when they were in high school. When they were younger, it was a little bit easier. And if you're a parent and you're like, I can't help them after 6th grade, go ask your teacher. This tool, ChatGPT or GPT, generative pre-trained transformer, is a great tool that can help guide you to maybe just ask it. I can't help and support my child in whatever this is. I like to think about calculus or the structure of matter or Newton's laws of motion, whatever it is. What are some recommendations, some quick sites that can help my child be successful doing in whatever? Maybe you're homeschooling and maybe you just want some ideas on science experiments. Maybe you want to ask it, give me some science experiments that have never been used in the state of California, and what are some ideas and where's the research? Many things you can ask ChatGPT. The best thing you can do is practice, play. There are no real experts in ChatGPT. You can become very proficient in asking it questions and prompts. I will share some other prompts that you can do to be very specific and use some programming with brackets and quotes and parentheses that'll really help you outline, because yes, it will bold for you. And let's just have a little fun. Get in it, play with it, ask it some questions. And yeah, just like social media, you're going to get really hooked on it. However, remember, it is a tool. It is not something that should replace the learning. Use it as a tool to help enhance your learning. Come back, follow my channel, like the actual YouTube, make sure you turn on the bell, comment. Tell me how you're using this as a parent, and tell me what it's done to help you become more efficient in helping your children with their homework.